Lift stations. Lift stations may be installed in areas where we have hilly terrain, and thus we have to pump the water up over a hill to continue its gravity flow. Or they may also be required in areas where the terrain is very, very flat. So if you can imagine, the ground is extremely flat, but the pipes are sloping down, so what's happening? It gets deeper and deeper. Eventually, it's just too doggone deep, and we have to pump up again and allow it to flow by gravity and down again. So both extremes of terrain, hilly or flat, can create a need for lift stations. Lift stations have a variety of configurations. One of the things they all have in common is a wet well. The basic lift station includes an influent gravity sewer to the lift station and a wet well from which the water is pumped out of that wet well. Then the water is also pumped into a force main, and the force main is what takes the water up over the hill or to the next manhole so it can flow downhill again in a gravity collection system. A lift station is usually the first component on the site of the wastewater treatment plant that the influent sewer comes into. So most wastewater treatment plants have an influent lift station that pumps the water into the wastewater treatment plant and creates the hydraulic head for the wastewater treatment plant to operate with. Lift stations are typically out in our collection system other than the ones at the wastewater plant, and because they're out in the collection system and because people use water all the time, and that water, if it's not pumped through the lift station, it's going to back up into the sewer and eventually into people's homes. They have to be pretty reliable. They have to be operable 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So to make sure that that happens, we have to build in some redundancy.